In ancient time, Han Chinese really cared about the style of clothes and hair. In Xiao Jing, there had a sentence, 身体发肤，受之父母，不敢毁伤，孝之始也. This means the body was from the parents. We couldn't hurt any part of our bodies. Han Chinese followed this rule. So, after Han Chinese grew up, they didn't cut hairs, except for some special reasons. Qing royal families were Manchuria people. They didn't accept this rule. They had their own clothes and hairstyles. If you had chance to watch some Qing Dynasty TV drama, you could see that males had a long braid. This was a Manchurian hairstyle, but this style appeared in the late Qing Dynasty. In early Qing Dynasty, Manchurian males must wear a hairstyle called 金钱鼠尾. 金钱 was the ancient Chinese coin, and the 鼠尾 was the tail of rat. Started in the later Jin, all people lived in the inner Manchuria must wear coin rat tail hairstyle. In 1644, Qing conquered the capital of Ming. The prince regent, Doergun, first time published the cutting hairs orders to force all Han Chinese wear Manchuria clothes and hairstyles. Han Chinese agreed to change clothes, but could not accept cutting their hairs. So even the average Han Chinese tried to fight with Qing, because at that time Qing didn't fully control China. So cutting hairs orders were temporarily stopped. 1 year later, Qing controlled most part of China. Doergun second time published the cutting hairs orders. This time, the Qing rulers were really serious. They considered the changing hairstyle as the sign of true obedience. In July 5th, 1645, Prince Regent Doergun forced all Chinese to change their hairstyle in 10 days, using the slogan 留头不留发,留发不留头. 留头 was keep the head, and 留发 was keep the Han Chinese hairstyle. This slogan told people, if they wanted to live, they must change the hairstyle. If they insisted on keeping the Han Chinese hairstyle, they would be killed. When faced the death threat, a large amount of brave Han Chinese stood up and fight back. For example, in July 1645, people lived in Jiangyin rebelled the Qing government, using the slogan 头可断,发绝不可剃, which means head could be cut, but hairs couldn't be cut. Jiangyin people guarded their city for 81 days. Qing army lost 3 princes, 18 military leaders, and 75,000 soldiers, except 53 people, all 172,000 Jiangyin people were killed by Qing army. In Chinese history, this event was called the 江阴80日, the 81 days in Jiangyin. The strict cutting hairs orders were existing until the middle of the Emperor Kangxi's age. During this time, almost all Han Chinese who had potential capabilities to rebel Qing government or killed. Although eventually Han Chinese abandoned their traditions, but the blood of the heroes exchanged some freedom from the Qing rulers. This freedom was known as 十从十不从. 十从十不从 was 10 situations that Han Chinese must follow the cutting hair's orders, and 10 situations that they didn't to follow. I will share the details in next video. When time came to the late Qing Dynasty, cutting hair's movement happened again. But this time is opposite. People wanted to keep their braids. In the very late of Qing Dynasty, peoples were influenced by the Western culture. A part of well-educated people hoped to make China great again by learning Western culture. So this part of people first cut their braids, but most part of Chinese didn't want to follow them. Until 1911, the revolution of Xinhai success, Qing Dynasty officially finished. The new government published the order to request people to cut their braids. Many people didn't follow this order. Qing rulers spent 10 days to force all Chinese to hide Manchuria braids. When Qing Dynasty was over, people spent about 30 years to cut their Manchuria braids. Thank you for watching this video. See you soon.